Yo guys, welcome to a new review, and today I will be talking about the movie Eden. Alright, so Eden is a movie starring Sydney Sweeney, Ana de Armas, Daniel Brühl, Vanessa Kirby, and Jude Law, and some other guys. But those are the main five, and I have to say, for this movie, I was a little bit skeptical when I first heard about it, because it did not really look that interesting. The release is not that big, but it did get an avant premiere, which was very interesting to me. So I was intrigued to go watch this movie, but I saw the scores were around a 3 out of 5. So I didn't know what to expect, and I went in quite blindly, but also with my expectations on a medium level. And I think that worked, because even though the movie has a lot of flaws, I definitely really enjoyed this one for what it was. I thought this movie was quite nice to watch, and with me suffering from a little bit of insomnia after my jet lag, and I continuously have difficulties staying awake during movies, this one kept me fully awake. Good job for that. And I did not have any difficulties, and I was completely following everything along, and it was quite nice. And I have to say that the things that worked definitely outweigh the things that did not work for me. So let's start talking about those things that did not really work or could have been done better. And most of that has to do with probably Ana de Armas in this movie, which quite saddens me, but she puts a performance up in this that is definitely not a career best, and it feels more like a laugh track for her than anything else, more like a paycheck laughing stock. And it's just that everyone in this movie is completely serious in everything that they do, and her role, even though it is supposed to be a little more gimmicky and a bit more evil, she doesn't sell the evil well, and she does sell the weirdness well, but it doesn't quite weigh up to everything on why she is as prominent as she is, because the way she portrays the role just doesn't really coincide with that perfectly. And I have to say that the other guys that were with her did it a bit better and were a better evil player than she actually was. The thing that she did do quite well is getting on the other people's nerves and getting in their thing and in their territory. I do feel like the way she played that imposter kind of role was pretty damn good for her. The accents for around like everyone tried to put up some kind of a German accent or a little bit of a German accent. Doesn't work at all, apart from Daniel Brühl, but of course that is logical because he is from Germany. But yeah, I don't think those were done quite well, and the story is a bit overlong. Could have shortened down quite a bit to make it even more interesting, as the movie does have difficulties to keep the flow going for the entire 2 hours and 10 minutes. Most of that is to do with a very interesting first part, where everyone starts to get angry with each other, and then when all hell breaks loose between everything that's going to happen, it's not that interesting anymore, or you don't care about it anymore, because you start to hate everybody because of the way the first half of the movie is made, and definitely because the movie starts off with a text explaining a little bit of what we are about to see, and they end that little text fragment with, "This is the story told by those who survived," which is a very dark and very ominous sentence. And then the movie progresses, and you just don't give a shit about who survives anymore, and you don't see it anymore. And at the end of the movie, they even explain to us that there are multiple versions of this story, and this is one version of the story that they told, and there is another version of the story that they are telling, that they are not telling. So there are two different kinds of stories, and which is right and which is wrong, which is what actually happened, which is what didn't happen, that is put, and that is not really clear at the end of the movie. So that is also something that was annoying me a little bit with it. But for the rest, the story did definitely entertain me. The story is some piece of history that I did not know of, so it was nice to know something new, to learn something new about the history of this world and about the history of what happened in the world and how humanity works and stuff like that, and how humanity can evolve and do and learn and will always act in the same natural way, which is by causing war and stuff like that. I loved seeing those vibes and seeing those messages in this film. I thought that was done pretty well. I thought Jude Law played his role pretty well. Apart from the accent, I thought he did it pretty good. Daniel Bruhl, by far my favorite. Sydney Sweeney, not the most memorable role she has ever done, but she did it quite well, especially those scenes in the middle where she gets a really important spotlight because of a thing that happens to her in the movie. I think that was brutal as fuck, and I think that was done exceptionally well. My favorite character might be Vanessa Kirby in this, even though I do think that she's quite underutilized, making Daniel Bruhl my all-around favorite of this film. I don't really have anything against Daniel Bruhl in this film. I do think he did it perfectly enough, and I do think he was the most interesting character out of all of them because of those reasons. And I do think that this movie just did well what it was supposed to do. It got the message over. I got the message loud and clear. I learned something. The movie was a bit overlong. Not all the performances were as great as some of the others were, but this movie definitely is one of the better movies I have seen this year. I learned something. I was entertained by this movie, and it was better than I expected it to be. So I am going to give this movie 4 stars and the heart. What did you think of this one? Please let me know in the comments down below, because I'm really excited to hear your opinion on it. I want to thank you for watching, and I would like to see you in the next video. Thank you, and bye bye.